I'm gonna chop up a chroma today that I bought, and look at this. It's all misshapen, and I bought it because it didn't cost a lot, but I'm going to cut the 2 rosettes off, and I'm gonna get at least 2 plants from those, and then I'm gonna get babies coming out of the stem. So anyway, I'm gonna chop this guy up, but he's really pretty. I just want to chop him so I can get more plants because this is an ugly shaped plant. So I've already got my 2 pots of dry dirt, and I'm going to go ahead and get my clippers. And oh, I got a cactus spine. I've been working all day in the greenhouse and I keep finding cactus spines in my fingers. So hi Leanne, I'm gonna go ahead and spray my snippers with alcohol, and I'm gonna go ahead and make the first cut. So this rosette right here, this one's pretty, and I don't want it to be very tall, so I'm gonna cut it right here, and I'll show you what I got. So this is what I got, and since there's leaves all the way down to the stem, hi Kathy, I'm gonna take off some of the leaves so that there's a little bit of a stem. I'm going to twist them off gently, and I will throw those in my leaf propagation bin. So this plant has actually been sitting in my yard for a while. So now we have a cute rosette. Hey, Leanne says this couldn't be more timely. I have a chroma, it's getting leggy. Okay, so yeah, so this is exactly what I'm gonna do. So I chopped it, and I pulled off just enough leaves to where I have a little bit of a stem, and I like the shape of the rosette. I'm also inspecting right now, and if you see anything funny, oh, and I see a little baby caterpillar, really tiny. You could pick him out, or you can just be mean and spray the whole thing with alcohol. And I did pick him out, but I'm gonna go ahead and spray it. You can't go wrong by spraying it. So then all you do after that, you can stick this guy in dry dirt. So as long as the dirt is dry, you can put something in there with an open wound. So I'm just gonna stick him in here. The stem is under, and that's it. So that's head number 1. And then now we've got this crazy looking thing. And by the way, this head is making a bloom, and when you have something with a bloom stalk, the plant focuses mostly on the bloom and not growing. So after I cut this head off, I'm cutting the bloom stalk off too. So for this one, I'm gonna cut it about right here, I think. And I'm holding it by its bloom stalk, so I don't like that, so I'm gonna cut that bloom stalk right off. You might be able to propagate these little leaves. I go ahead and throw them in the bin anyway, but now we've got this rosette. I'm gonna check this guy. Oh, he's got one of those little caterpillars on there too. So basically, this guy was sitting in my front yard for a while. I forgot all about him when I bought him. Hold on, I'm trying to get this little caterpillar out. Stupid caterpillar. You want to see this little caterpillar? You see him? Uh-oh, now he's making a web. Anyway, he ain't staying on my plant. So, they can eat up your plants, so I'm just going to go ahead and well, actually, I'm going to take the leaves off first. Hi, Carrie, and hi, Lindsay. And so now I want a little bit of a stem. So I'm going to twist these leaves off. I'll propagate these leaves. I basically just have a bunch of like cardboard boxes that I throw them in, and they're underneath one of the tables in my greenhouse, so they just kind of stay in the shade. So now I like the looks of this. It's pretty good. So I'm going to spray it with alcohol just in case there's any other Dougies, and then stick this one in another container of dry dirt. And that's literally it. Once you do this though, a lot of people are wondering like, where do I put it? When do I water? So I put it somewhere very shady because think about it, they don't have roots right now. So they're basically living off the liquid in their leaves right now. So I put them somewhere in the shade, and after about a week, I will pick them up lightly and I will look at the bottom, and if I see some roots growing, then I will start watering. And if I don't see roots, I'll keep waiting. But usually with these little guys, it doesn't take as long. Now with the big gibifloras, it takes a little bit longer. Actually, I did one with an Etna. I cut the top off. That's this one right here. So anyway, she's definitely rooted now, but just to show you, those guys actually take a lot longer. These guys, I expect them to have roots in a week, so maybe I can go live again and show you. But I'm gonna put them in the shade somewhere, probably put them on a shelf in here, and like at the bottom shelf somewhere. So that's what I'm gonna do with these. Now, the rest of this, you have a couple options. You could just leave it like this, which is really ugly, or you could actually cut another piece off, stick that in the dirt, and more babies will come off of it if you remove a few leaves. Same thing with this one. So you could propagate this several times. I always like to leave the remainder of the plant in the pot, because if you leave that on with a few leaves, it's gonna make babies. So what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna cut here, and then I'm gonna cut this. Okay, I don't know what happened, but anyway, I cut 2 more pieces off, so now I've got this left, and I left a couple leaves on there. Probably cut this stem off too, because it's worthless. But this guy, I'm just gonna keep watering like normal. I'll be careful not to get water in the open wounds, but it's got a couple of leaves, so it'll still be able to photosynthesize, and it won't take long, but babies will start growing out of the nodes. So I'm gonna get several babies on this, I'm sure. So I'm gonna put that aside, and then this guy, I chopped him off too. I didn't think I was actually gonna do that, but just because I know I chopped them this way, so I could pull these leaves off like this, propagate these leaves, and I don't really care because it doesn't have a rosette. So I'm gonna pull just a few leaves off, but leave a few on. I'll stick that in a thing of dry dirt too, and babies will come out of that. And then finally, actually, I think that was the only one I cut off. The other one's just the bloom stalk. So I'm gonna get one more pot, stick this guy in, and again, I'm gonna treat it just like the ones that I beheaded. I'm not gonna do anything to it. I'm gonna keep it in the shade, and then after a week, I'll pull it and see if it's got any roots, and if it does, then I'll water it. But keep them in the shade. They don't have any roots now, so they have no way to take in water. So they're just living off what they have in the stem and the leaves. And then I have all these leaves left to propagate. So I'm gonna throw these in my prop bin. And that's basically it. So I'm left with this. And I'm left with these. So anyway, just want to show you guys one of the things I'm doing. I've been doing a bunch of stuff in here. I've been cutting off. Oh no, that's not true. Hold on, here's another one. I knew I'd cut another one off. Alright, so this one's same thing. I'm gonna pull off some leaves, and I'm gonna leave a few on. But you know babies are gonna grow out of it, so I'm gonna leave 3 on, and I'm gonna plant it like this. So I will do that with those 2 when I get off the camera. I'm just gonna stick them in dry dirt, put them in the shade, wait for roots, and then water. So anyway, hope you guys are having a good 4th of July. I'm going to go to some family member's house later, and we're going to shoot fireworks and all that. And I've been trying to get as much done in the greenhouse as I can. I've been taking all my little leaf propagations out of my bins and sticking them in cells. And I think I posted one of those pictures online. But I just thought I'd show y'all because I was gonna chop this guy anyway, and it's been sitting there for a long time, so he's chopped now. This guy, he's gonna stay out in the sun. He's not gonna go in the shade. I'm just gonna keep him in the sun. Water as usual, just don't get water in the open wounds, and babies will come out. And if y'all remind me sometime to show you an update, I'll show you the baby chromas that are coming out. So maybe like in a week to 2 weeks, remind me to show you this, and there will be babies, I'm sure of it. All right, you guys, have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.